You have learned a great deal in your separation. You have believed in the solid nature of all the nouns around you. And yet your scientists are beginning to tell you that there is nothing solid about those nouns. Your chair is not solid. And in fact, there is more space than matter there. That you are not solid, and there is more space than matter. And you're beginning to understand in the experiments that have been done that your thoughts, which are pure energy, which are in a sense a verb, they are not a noun, they are a verb, are shifting and changing matter. And you have seen how they have changed the water crystals in experiments. And your scientists are showing you every day that the matrix, or the energy, which is all that vast space that you think is empty, is filled. And it is filled with God, with force, with energy, with movement, with consciousness. And it is not stagnant. It changes, it shifts, it moves. And if you can conceive of God as a verb, you can unite with God. But if God is a noun, and he is a man or a thing that looks down upon you, that judges you, that makes you feel separate, you can never wholly feel the unity which serves you best. When the human race shifts from the concept of God becoming a verb, or moving from the noun to the verb, the shift in consciousness will be as dramatic as those shifts we had mentioned, which is, well, the earth is not the center of the universe, or the earth is not flat. It will change how you feel about being human. It will change your relationship to everything around you. Because suddenly you are in this moving, changing, shifting being, consciousness called God. It is uncomfortable for the human race to think this way, in part because you are uncomfortable with change. And if there is one thing that is happening to most of you today, that is that you are learning to be comfortable with change. You are being forced, many of you feel forced, to be comfortable with change. And you are learning to give up control. You're learning to give up control. And this is not comfortable, but it is necessary to shift the human race from third to fifth dimension. A fifth dimensional world or society, and some of you are familiar with them because you have either lived in a fifth dimensional world or you are in contact with beings who occupy fifth or higher dimensions. In those worlds, God is not a noun. God is a verb. As angels, God is not a noun. We are a part of the living God. We are in union with the living God. If we thought of God as outside of us, we would be subject to all the, what you call evil or fear-based actions that you are capable of. But because we are not separated, because we understand that God is not separate from us, we cannot act in ways that you would deem evil. We have to, in a sense, flow with that energy, that verb. And so it has been told to you by other humans, angels have no free will. It has been told to you, angels are not free to think and to act separate from God, and this is correct. But it is not because God is a noun who is imposing upon us dictates that we must behave this way or that way. It is because for us, God is a source, an energy, a vibration that you have no word for. So you use the word love. But it is far greater than even that. So we ask you to begin to be responsible, to assist the human race to shift and to grow and to change in ease, in alignment with a new concept of God as a verb. And those of you who have been raised previously to think of God as a man with a beard who sat on a throne and punished you, and you see that you did many things to appease this man, which was, of course, like the primitives who even killed to appease the god or gods. You can see that it would be essential, if you are to come into the idea of oneness and unity and harmony with all life, to feel and take in the energy within your body that is God. In your meditations, it is no longer serving you to leave your body and go in search of God. This shift upon the earth is about allowing and feeling and being able to hold within your physical body that energy, inviting it and unifying yourself with it, so that you will, as angels do, perform godly acts, so that your will and God's will are one, but not because he, she has forced it upon you, but because you have merged with this great source of creative love. So consider the idea that as you change your consciousness and begin to understand God as a verb and not as a noun, you will shift the consciousness of the human race and bring it closer to what you desire, which is peace, harmony, and unity with God. And if you think you do not want unity with God, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. For even those of you who have been angry at God and who hate God and who deny the existence of the very thing that animates you, truly long for that energy of love, for peace and reconciliation to flow freely through you. And we suggest to you merely to consider that one of the important steps to achieving that is to move from the concept of noun to the concept of verb for God. So we thank you for this opportunity to share with you this message.